the industry had an opportunity for us to get this done in a timely manner by cooperating with the per acre fee bill. It was an approach that was agreed upon in a previous year, and this year set up every roadblock they could to prevent it happening in the session. That's fine if that's the way they want to play, but I think the ramifications aren't for us to figure out how to hobble along and how do we do this with existing resources and how do we have, you know, limp studies that don't show or prove any of the things we want to look at. I think that what it means is we just have a moratorium in place until or unless we get the revenue necessary to study this. A public opinion poll was conducted in this state, 600 people statewide, a majority, both parties, didn't matter whether you were Republican or Democrat, it didn't matter where you resided, including in Western Maryland. Strong, solid majority said 71% Maryland should study this in the way that the commission is laid out, and 81% said that the industry should pay, not taxpayers. And completely ignoring the will of the voters, bottled that bill up in the Senate. Even though we had the votes both on the committee and on the Senate floor to pass the thing, they were able to keep it from even being voted on. Fine, you want to play those games, we can play those games, but there are consequences. We worked in the House to amend that bill to try to make it more industry friendly. Instead of being $10 an acre per fee over 2 years, we amended it to be $15 as a one-time fee. Instead of having the commission's report be due in 2014, we accelerated the time frame because more money theoretically should mean that we should be able to get the answers quickly. Theoretically, the industry wants certainty, predictability. That's what these studies would give you, because we would have a timeline for getting these answers and for us to make a decision on whether or not we move forward and drill. Now, the gas for May delivery recently touched $1.94, the lowest price since January 2002. We have economic indicators at play here as well. Why wouldn't the industry want to just, you know, take your time? We're not going to pay for it because, you know what, we're not going to drill in Maryland right now anyway. It's not worth our while financially. It's not worth it to come into the state and put these drills in because the gas prices are too low. Let's wait and make this decision later. We'll have different politics, different administration, different approach maybe. A wait and see game. Fine. Then let's wait and see. We should have a moratorium in place. The agencies should not drill until or unless we have these answers. And I have concerns with the approach that you are suggesting that the agencies are looking at right now by making it a precondition of the permitting process, because that seems to leapfrog the work we're doing here in the agency. There is a presumption there that you pay for the studies, then you get to drill. We are all sitting here under the governor's executive order being told that we are to get the answers to these really perplexing questions that everyone agrees are complex and necessary for us to make an informed decision about Maryland's more pragmatic approach to this. We want those answers first to determine whether or not we will issue permits. Not that we need that information and then we'll issue, and then you get a permit because you have done this. I mean, potentially, is there a way to bifurcate, at least under the approach that you're suggesting, saying before we would ever even consider the permit that you're wanting to apply for, you would have to come and present these studies so that we would still at least have a decision point before issuing the permits, maybe that under that situation, but I didn't hear you say that. It sounded like